Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. And would be a bit of a daily transfer update, but to be honest, in this window, there is absolutely nothing going on at the moment. So it's going to be a bit of a general chat about where Chelsea are at right now, where we go from here, what the fundamental issues are. Does changing a manager actually going to make any difference? Well, it should that happen or not? People losing their shit about fucking banners going in the ground. There's all sorts going on. But the big news, obviously, today, the day after, the Middlesbrough defeat, the absolute shambles, the absolute disgrace. And there have been briefings coming out that Pochettino's job is not in danger. And it could become in danger if qualifying for qualifying for European football becomes a difficult task. It becomes jeopardy. It becomes in jeopardy. But whilst there's a realistic chance of obviously qualifying for European football, he seems to be pretty safe for now. But yeah, guys, loads to get into as always. Could be a bit more of a Chelsea therapy thing. Interested to hear people's views and all this and that. Big up to everyone that's in the chat. Smash the likes as always, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Hit 7.5k last night. So yeah, guys, if you hit 8k by the end of January, there will be a giveaway. So make sure you are subscribing to the channel if you are new round here. But let's big up everyone. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I think Pochettino holding this team back. We're going to dive into all this. Do you think Pochettino's lost the dressing room? No, I don't think so. Yes, Michael, big up. Does it solve the problem? No, not for me, because of the people at the top. Let's face it. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree on that. RD, big up. Pick a side of Pochettino out. Enrique was the man to get best out of these players. But I think the Enrique thing as well, like, I wasn't that sold on that. The geezer hadn't managed a club side since, 2015 or something like that. He's not exactly pulling trees up at PSG either. I'm not a Hansi Flick for me. Good at Bayern Munich. Was a disaster in the German national side. And Zidane is another one of those names where, yes, he did exceptionally well at Real Madrid, but Real Madrid is a unique set of circumstances. For me, I don't think it accurately represents how good a manager he is until he tries somewhere else. Thiago Silva went to the fans last night to apologise. Yeah, it's all mad. Bloody Anthony Taylor, referee for the Fulham game as well. Yeah, you couldn't make it up. Of course, his job's not in danger. He's a yes man for Clear Lake Investments, and they're not. No, I don't believe that, because the quickest way to make money is by winning. So yeah, I don't buy into the fact that they're not interested in winning at all. I disagree with that. Firing a manager is not always the answer. I agree on that front. Fair. Yeah, Sterling, I was raging with him last night, absolutely raging. Yes, Brian, big up. Hope you're doing well, brother. Ready for Sterling to be done at our club as well. Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that way. Yeah, mad. Brian, big up for the donation. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, Chelsea therapy. Who would be your dream replacement for Poch? There's no realistic candidates out there. There aren't any. I don't look at any managers out there and think, yeah, this would be an ideal replacement for Pochettino, or this would be, a considerable upgrade. Until the structure above the manager is sorted out, each manager, in my opinion, is just going to keep failing. Because the structure above the manager needs to be sorted out. It really does. So I don't really have, a dream replacement. I don't. Poch misuse of record signings and lack of their improvement will get him eventually sacked, just like Shevchenko. Maybe. PR is starting like what happened to Potter. Yeah, look, this is the thing. Like, I'm gonna dive into it. I will get through these comments. Obviously, guys, if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, you can use the super chat function. I am obviously going to get through as many as I can. But let's dive into this, right? Because I think it's important, guys, that we kind of discuss where we're at as a club. Now, we were 6 wins. I think we're 6 wins from our last 10 now from last night, all competitions. Mauricio Pochettino's position is Matt Law today. Pochettino's position as head coach of Chelsea is not expected to be put in any jeopardy while the club retain a realistic chance of qualifying for Europe. Doesn't mean Champions League. I think it just means general European football. And I think, look, can a manager do better? Absolutely, the manager can do better. Like that. That's not even a debate. There's not even a debate. But what I would say is that, like, right now, for me, guys, Chelsea is a club now that are on a steep learning curve. The owners are all learning on the job. The players are learning on the job. The manager is learning, and ultimately, fans are going to have to learn as well. Sustainable success and continuity. These are going to have to be the new pillars on which this club has to rebuild. Success is not linear. So mistakes have and will continue to be made on and off the pitch. We will continue to make mistakes on the pitch, and we will continue to make mistakes off the pitch. It's a young squad, owners finding their feet and having to overhaul a structure that stood in place for what? Roman was there for almost 20 years. But in order to grow, there needs to be clear and consistent messaging. And I have to say, with this ownership, we're not getting the clear and consistent messaging. I think that's fair to say. And from the owners, it means, minimal backroom movement. There's been a lot of growing pains, some out of their control, obviously some in their control. You also have to stand by your manager. Admit you made a personnel mistake with Potter, but no, you did due diligence with Poch. They always set out as a thorough and extensive process. And then from Poch, it's trusting in his methods. He has to trust in his methods. And look, despite what people think, I think at times this season, Chelsea have shown consistent patterns of play across the season. But the consistency, however, stems from a consistent 11, which Poch hasn't had. Different personalities, different schedules, etc. And it makes all that difficult. So he's had to persist. With that. From players, from the players, they've got to trust in one another. They trusted in the project, which is why they signed when they arrived. And so they have to start learning and growing together. So you win as a team and you lose as a team. We all know that. You find your leaders in the dressing room and on the pitch, and you take from them. The problem is we don't have that many leaders in the pitch at the moment. And then from the fans, there has to be a buy-in. You learn nothing in 6 to 7 months, but you learn a lot in 6 or 7 years. And for me, short-termism doesn't work in a world where consistency is key. You can't have short-termism and then, at the same time say consistency is key. City and Pep, Klopp and Liverpool, Arteta and Arsenal to a degree. Top 3 teams, all 5+ years in the job. And it's about having that shift in a mindset. I'm not saying that any of this is acceptable, by the way. I'm not saying any of what's going on is acceptable right now, but there needs to be an acceptance that right now this is not what Chelsea are. This is not what we used like. We're not what we used to be. Things are different at the moment. Things are different right now. Let me just have a quick look what's going on here. Got to go Poch out. What does he need to do to get the sack? I wouldn't say nobody's improved. I think some players have improved. Look, is it realistic to expect multiple young players with very little of experience to pretty much all have shown significant improvement in 6 or 7 months? Is that realistic? I personally don't think it is. I don't think it's realistic to expect that level of improvement from this squad in such a short space of time. Now, I might be being naive here. If people genuinely think that, we should be expecting more and it's realistic for all these players to have improved considerably over 6 or 7 months, then maybe I'm fundamentally misunderstanding what's going on here. But I don't think I am. Shambles. Sporting directors have as much, maybe more blame as Poch. No experience. And yeah, I agree. Yes, big up, brother. We don't need a striker. Our manager's days and Kunku's another injury prone. I don't think it's injury prone players. No, I wasn't. I was fuming after the game. Obviously, title was slightly misleading on the video. Head was all over the gaff. I was raging. Look, I think he has to do better. I think he's under pressure 100%. But I don't believe that. I can understand and I respect people's views that if they think he needs to go, he needs to go. Fine. Look, I disagree, but I respect your opinions. But for me, right now, it's not changing anything because the fundamental issues go far beyond the manager. PL isn't a place to learn. Well, no, it's not. It's not a place to learn. But unfortunately, this is where we are right now, is that everyone from top to bottom of the football club is all learning on the fucking job. That is the problem. That is the problem. They cherry pick. I don't know. I mean, look, none of us are in there. None of us really know like the situation and what's going on. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Will he kick up a fuss? I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't know what the dynamics are like in and around the meetings and all that. Super Monty, big up for the donation. Greatly appreciated. I did. And, I was, head was hot after that game. Slightly a bit of a misleading title on the video, but I respect people's views. I don't think he's sabotaging. I don't think he's sabotaging us. It's just clear right now that he's obviously struggling to get a tune out of this team. I fully appreciate that. I'm not naive enough to sit here and say he's doing nothing wrong. There are big faults with him, absolutely. All I'm saying is that the people say that people that think we switch the manager, you get your dopamine hit from a new manager, and then when that inevitably wears off, and you realize the same problems are still here, and then you act shocked about it. Like until there's structural changes made at the football club, changing the manager is going to make no tangible difference in the long term to what Chelsea are trying to do here. Please buy an experienced player. Yep. If that's the case, we're not going to go down. But again, that's such a simplistic view because Spurs and Chelsea are totally different. If Ange had come into the setup that had come into the situation Chelsea were in, then he wouldn't be doing anywhere near as well as he would have been doing at Spurs. So, like, Chelsea and Spurs situations aren't comparable. One's got, one had to make a few signings, reasonably steady squad or whatever. The other was completely starting again. So I think it's completely different in my opinion. I wouldn't say to the very end, but I was supportive of it. And you know what? With all this stuff coming out now, it goes to show that actually, do you know what? Potter wasn't as big a problem as a lot of people thought he was. I'm not saying he was good, but the problems stemmed much deeper than him. And this is the same thing with Pochettino. The problems stem deeper than the manager, and people don't seem to be understanding that. Does he need to improve? Yes. In-game management, poor. Yes. Tactics, poor. Yes, at times. Man management, poor at times. Yes. All these things, tick, tick, tick. Agreed. But, for me, I think I just think people are fundamentally misunderstanding where we're at as a club right now. They really are, in my opinion. What I would say about this team, there's a lot of mistakes. Colwell, 20 years old. Palmer, 21. Enzo and Caicedo, both 22. I could go on and list all these ages, but I'm not going to. It's utterly absurd to think it's reliable to have an entire squad of that age range and not think it's not and to not think it's not going to mess up a lot. Of course it is. There's a lack of quality up front. There's a lack of quality wing play. There's a lack of quality centre forward play. We were on a nice finishing streak. And that's what Luton and Preston etc were improved. Those things were improved finishing. Basically, the performances against Luton and Preston weren't that great, but our finishing improved. So we took our chances, which made it look a lot better than it normally is. And this is the reality of this club, people. A lot of these players might never be good enough, or will take 3 or 4 seasons to be good enough. This is why, right? We're consistently mid-table now. There won't be people are waiting for some sort of magical corner to be turned. This squad is still not top 6 quality. It's full of far too many projects. The coach, look, do I think he's a good manager? Yes, but he's okay. But keep in mind, and people always go, oh, we need an elite manager. No elite manager wants to coach a squad of this profile. What part of that are people not understanding? No elite manager wants to coach a squad of this profile. They don't. They simply do not want to do that. So I don't understand what people are fundamentally missing about that. Why are people not understanding that? There won't be a magic corner turned. As I said, the new sort of coping mechanism and hopium for the Chelsea fan base at the moment is to call for the manager's head, as if that solves the bigger issue. It's ownership. This is their vision, guys. They think they can win like this. 18 months in, and it's not happening. This is their squad. Good luck trying to sell this to elite coaches. Good luck, because no coach worth their salt is gonna do it. And the same goes for sporting directors. All they're doing are scouting and signing players that Brighton and Monaco would sign. They're asked to do that. That's what they're being asked to do. It's the ownership that thinks you can win at the top while carrying Brighton level prospects. That's their belief, and they're not correcting the course. They are not course correcting people. They're not. They're absolutely not. No elite coach wants to coach at this football club anymore, because why would anyone take this squad on and take this job on with the makeup of the squad? Why? Why would they do that? They simply wouldn't. They simply would not do that. When Gilchrist came on, I think it was a precaution or something. It was explained as afterwards. I don't really know. That's fair. That's up to him. Why do we need to? No one's accepting mediocrity. No one's accepting mediocrity. There's an arrogance within the Chelsea fan base that, there's some sort of entitlement that, no one wants to go through this, but there's some sort of entitlement that, a lot of Chelsea fans feel that we shouldn't have to go through what every single other football club has had to go through at some point, and that's a tough period. There seems to be just a ridiculous amount of arrogance and entitlement that because we're Chelsea and because we won everything over the last 20 years, that we shouldn't have to go through a down period. Like, where's this sense of entitlement and arrogance coming from? It's staggering for me. Yes, big up, brother. He didn't choose the players coming in. He didn't. Yes, they'll be run past him, but the sporting directors are choosing the players. Yes, he's probably not going to say no to that many of them, but he wasn't, like, to think that he was having the final say on these players is not true. Mate, the sporting directors put this squad together. They were choosing the players. Yes, he picks the team and whatever. I'm not disputing that, but the sporting directors are the ones that put this squad together and the ones that were picking these players. That is what's been happening. Yes, Darth, big up, brother. I'm officially Poch out after last night. Utter disgrace. Well, look, I accepted the sacking of Potter because it was writing on the wall, and it had become untenable. And ultimately, the grass is not always greener, and arguably, we actually probably would have finished higher in the table last year if we just kept Potter. Instead, we brought Lampard in, and it was a disaster. Yes, Stuart, big up. Constantly voicing my fears about Clown Lake losing to Borough highlights this. Yeah, look, the only positive from last night is that there's a second leg and we've got a chance to put it right. But it doesn't feel like that right now. If we're thinking like you, then Tuchel shouldn't have been hired and we had to stick with Lampard. No, I wasn't saying that. But there's another thing. This Tuchel revisionism is a madness right now. Look, Tuchel was fantastic for this football club, but people seem to conveniently forget he was making us worse with a better, more experienced squad. The revisionism over how things were going with him is utterly absurd. Utterly absurd. People seem to be reinventing like the wheel on how things were actually going under Tuchel. We were getting worse with a more experienced squad, and yet people are seeming to just seemingly ignore that fact. It's mad. Fowler, Owen, and they come in and hit the ground running. But this is, mate. That's like we're talking 90s there. This football's totally different now. It's totally different. As I've said many times, this is not. We haven't been good enough. We haven't been good enough. This squad's not good enough. These players aren't good enough right now. But you can't tell me this is not a talented group, because it is a talented group. It's just obviously they're not in a position right now to hit the heights that we need. I wouldn't say Enzo's regressed. I would agree that he is being misprofiled. I think that's fair. I think Enzo has. I don't think he's regressed. He's being misused. But what also doesn't help is that, as I said after the Preston game, when Enzo Fernandez picks the ball up in those deep areas where he likes to have it, and he looks up and there's no movement from the fullbacks, there's no movement from the wingers, you haven't got a centre forward dropping between the lines to come and pick the ball up. What are you supposed to do? You look up and there's nothing. No one. Alicia Keys, no one. There's no one there. No one. And what are you supposed to do? And then fans moan, oh, it's gone sideways, it's gone backwards. Yeah, because no one's given him any fucking options to pass the football. And I actually thought last night Enzo was good, and I couldn't believe he was subbed off. It was a madness. It's concerning that only 2 or 3 players came to thank the fans. Yeah, I think it was about 4, but yeah, Like, that shit's unacceptable. It is. And that's one of the things when you go to the grounds and stuff, that fucks you off more than anything, is when players don't come over and applaud. That is, for me, that's unacceptable. That's the least you can do. Yes, you're annoyed you've lost. Yes, it's frustrating. Think how annoyed we are traveling back all over the country, like getting in at fucking stupid o'clock in the morning, having watched absolute shit. The bare minimum you can do is come over and applaud the fans. Don't sack Poch now. Let's see in the summer. Players want to win, but we are yet to see a clear game plan. Look, I would agree, a consistent game plan. I think we have seen how Chelsea, how Pochettino would want this Chelsea team to play. It's just, obviously, we haven't seen it on a consistent enough basis. And look, people can say it's excuses or whatever, but what is one big thing, and I'll always say this, it doesn't matter, I don't care who the manager is, if you have not been able to choose from anywhere near a fully fit squad, it's very difficult. Yes, we should be doing better with obviously what we've got on the pitch in games. Yeah, of course we should be, but we've not had a fully fit squad to choose from. It's like going to the toolbox and you have to build something and you've got fucking half the toolbox missing. It's the same thing here. 9 to 12 players out every single week. First team regulars, first choice options on the bench. Like, yes, that doesn't excuse the team not doing fundamental basics in matches. I absolutely fully appreciate that. I absolutely get that. What happens if we lose to Fulham in second leg in the League Cup? Well, then we're fucked, and the season's done. But it makes no difference, If the manager was going to be sacked, and I'm not calling for this, but if he was going to be sacked, you kind of do it now, because then you've got time to bring someone in. Otherwise, you wait until after the Carabao Cup, and if we were to get knocked out, and you've then got 2 or 3 days to find an interim to manage in the fourth round against Aston Villa. It's just not going to happen. It just isn't. It just isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. So I don't fucking understand. Like, it's like, do you know what I mean? You get to a certain point where you just have to go with it. You just have to go with it, and you have to push through these difficult times. Does he actually look like a manager that's under pressure to me? No, what I would say is things do appear to seem way too relaxed. I would agree on that. He doesn't come across as someone that seems to be under pressure. I don't get that feeling. I don't know if if the players are feeling the pressure or anything like that. I don't know if he tries to take the pressure off. But the approach does seem to be very, very relaxed, and I don't really get it. Did you see TalkSport trying to run the "no one cares about Chelsea" narrative? Yeah, brother. Like, literally, we get mentioned all the time. By the way, people, keep running the likes up. We've got 54 in the building, only 34 likes. Keep smashing that like button. It's free and it takes seconds. So please do that, guys. Please run them up. We've got 15 likes to hit the 50. Should be light work, people. Light work. At least Spurs signed some experienced players that have quality. Yeah. Look, experience. We need experience. It's simple as that. Simple as that. A different manager wouldn't play Chilwell. No, look, when Ben Chilwell comes back from injury, and if he persists with Colwell at left back when Chilwell's fit, then absolutely, that is a very, very valid point. A very, very valid point. But until I see that, I'm not going to comment too much on it. But if Chilwell comes back and he's playing wing again, then yeah, I will lose it. Look, he obviously wasn't great, but again, the same as with the gaffer now. The problems are bigger than him. I guess we have to get used to this shit as these are. Yeah, the owners are here for 10 years. This is their plan. This is their recruitment strategy. This is the way that they want to. This is the route that they want to go down, and this is kind of it. This is it. Directors are awful, but Poch is a joke. Fair. Yeah, exactly. Of course he is. Of course he is. Owners are the problem until they change. Look, unless you're prepared to recorrect the course or accept that you've made a mistake, then this is going to be a steep learning curve, and it's going to be long for us. It's going to be long for us. That is the reality. When we get James and Chilwell back, we're going to improve, and Kunku is important to have also. Yeah, of course. And this is my point. This is my point. It's been tough, people. It has been tough. No denying it. If we turn into a selling for profit type club, I don't think we will. Oh, God, I've got so many to get through, guys. So many to get through. Thank you, Joe. I've been saying this squad is sixth at best. They think we're going to go on title-winning form. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, the amount of people that think that changing a manager is going to suddenly turn us into some mad team is, crazy. Guys, I'm going to skip a few here. Sorry. Big up to Super Monty again with another donation. Greatly appreciated, brother. The PSG fans hated Poch too. Press and pray. Yeah. Look, we're gonna have to buckle in for the ride, guys. It's gonna be a fucking bumpy one. It's gonna be like the UK roads, potholes everywhere, bumps left, right, and center. But you know, this is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at. It's difficult for us. The club's a fucking mess, from top to bottom. Every time you think you've made progress on the pitch, the very next game you take fucking like 50 steps back. Though they might not, but also, bro, no elite manager is going to come is going to want to come to Chelsea with a squad made up like this. That's not how this works. That's not how it works. What else have we got going on? There's so many things. Sorry, I can't read all these. No, he's employed to manage, yes, and you know, the results should be better, but ultimately, like, I think if people had unrealistic expectations for this season, that's on them. You know, the reality is this is how good we are right now. This is how good we are right now. I don't believe it's a not a talented group. You know, it's funny because everyone wanted us to sign Enzo. Everyone wanted Caicedo. Everyone wanted Lavia. Like, people wanted all these players. People wanted us to get Mudryk, take him from under Arsenal's noses. People wanted these signings, and then they're fucking moaning about them when they're not doing that well, or it's taking time. People wanted these signings. Let's not sit here and pretend that fans didn't want these players, because they absolutely fucking did. Everyone was delighted we signed Enzo. People were delighted we signed Caicedo, Lavia, all these people. What else have we got going on here? Sorry, guys, let me just get to the super chats. How long win Stanley and Stewart at the club for? Fuck knows. But, you know, I think they employed him. So they basically employed Pochettino. So, yeah, this needs to work for them. Because if Poch goes at some point, then I think those two could well be on their way out as well. What else is going on here? Potentially, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a vast difference. I don't think there's a vast difference. Yes, big up, brother. Generally, no point in sacking him. Will be a cycle of play well for a bit, then throw the manager under the bus. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, obviously last night was totally unacceptable, awful performance, but there is a second leg, and there is a chance for us. And obviously, I still fully back us to go through. But yeah, obviously this was alarming, and it does kind of, you know, speak of deeper issues and of deeper issues. I've forgotten what I was saying there. What happens if we don't get any European football then for next season? I guess it depends how we're doing in the domestic cups, because if we win the Carabao or the FA Cup, you get into European football that way. So if we do somehow end up with a trophy this season, then yeah, let's see what we can do on that front. But yeah, obviously, if we don't win anything and there's no European football, then that's halfway through the 2-year deal that he signed. You know, there would be a conversation to have about what the best situation would be. I mean, I don't know the owner. I don't know the owners personally at all. I've met them like a few times or whatever at games and stuff. I don't personally know these people. I don't know what they're thinking. Look, I'm happy to speak against it, because I think fundamentally a lot of the issues are caused by how they've made too much change too quickly. I also call the manager out for tactics, for things that he does wrong. Doesn't mean that I want the manager out. You know, I criticize the manager where it's fair to criticize the manager, and that's always been the case. But I'm also aware that, in my opinion, I don't believe that changing the manager is going to make a difference to our success this season. That's it. Why is there no movement of fullbacks? Who did we play last night? We had Gusto and fucking Colwell. We had Gusto and Colwell last night. Yeah. And this is the thing, like anyone that's Poch out, you ask them for a realistic alternative to come in. They can't give you one. They cannot give you a realistic alternative that's going to come in and take the job and do much better. Yes, Geordie, big up. Yeah, mate, more than disappointing. Yeah, I agree on that. I agree that he's not utilising them. But what I would also say is that how many times this season have we had 2 fit fullbacks? Hardly at all. I just want to see a run of Ben Chilwell and Reece James playing fullbacks, or Chilwell and Malagusto, or whatever, because that will make such a big difference. The fullbacks are so key in modern football. Fullbacks are so key to how Chelsea play. I think, honestly, I'm not saying that everything's going to suddenly transform, but for me, they're very much is a trail of thought where get these fullbacks fit, and I think it will make a massive difference to this team. 2 fit fullbacks in James and Chilwell, or James and Gusto and Chilwell, and Kunku fit, and a centre forward. And I think you'll see a lot of difference. No, bro, I've got no privileges. I've got no privilege at all. I'm more than happy to call the owners out, and absolutely have. The owners don't give me anything. I pay for all my tickets and whatnot. I've met them at a few games. No, I've got no ins with the club or the ownership or anything like that at all. So I've got no issue with calling things out as I see them. In my opinion, it's Caicedo that made Enzo worse. Remember the first 2 games, he was unbelievable because Connor was just tackling. I don't think Caicedo's made him worse. I think Caicedo's coming for a lot of stick as well. He's basically, because of Gallagher's positional sense, he's pretty much he's pretty much been a one-man midfield, on his own. He's been a lot better than people are making out. He's been a lot better than people are making out, in my opinion. Where's big up? Massive problem, mixed views from fans. Will get it right. We'll get it right at some point. Guys, sorry, there's so many things coming through. I'm going to have to skip to the bottom of these. I'm not ignoring them. There's so many to get through, and I'm not going to be able to read them all. Let's get this super chat. Yes, big up to the dearest devil. Fire Poch, get John Terry in his interim. Do you know what I would say, right? Is that I'm not saying that JT should be manager or anything. I am surprised, given the lack of experience, given the work that he's doing in the academy, why is JT not involved in doing something in as part of the first team coaching setup in some capacity? That is one thing that I do absolutely agree with. Why is he not involved to some degree in with the first team coaching? I don't get why he's not. It doesn't make sense to me. You would have thought that would be the most obvious thing to do. What else is going on here? Let me just get to the bottom, guys. So many things coming in. I'll start here. Last night got me when we kept crossing. Yeah. We kept crossing the ball into no striker. And then when a striker came on, we then stopped crossing the ball into the box. Yeah. I mean, it was a madness. It was an absolute madness. But let me just move away from that one and let's talk about this. A couple of other things that were in. Where is it? Yeah, this here was interesting. Chelsea sacked Tuchel and Graham Potter last season as the club desperately chased unattainable targets, and there is an acceptance that mistakes were made. There is already a sense of realism within the club over expectations for this term. I would agree that we set unrealistic expectations last season. I don't even know what the expectations were, but whatever they were unrealistic. You know, we were not going to qualify for we weren't going to finish top 4. As much as people like to think that under Thomas Tuchel last season we would have finished top 4, have you conveniently forgotten that the first couple months of the season under Tuchel, Leeds away, Southampton away, Zagreb away, that the dire brand of football we were playing with a far more experienced squad, we were playing horrendous stuff, and it was absolutely awful. So people do need to realize that, you know, that under Tuchel we were on a downward spiral, and you know things weren't that great. So it's all very well going back, but look, mistakes were absolutely made. Tuchel should have been Tuchel should have been sacked at the start. No, brother, we wouldn't have finished. I'm sorry, we would not have finished in the top 4 under Tuchel. We have not been a Premier League. We were not a top 4 side. We've not been a Premier League challenging side since 2017. We have been at best a top 4 side. We've not finished above 3rd in the league since we won the title. This idea that we've been a top club. Top 4 has been our level since 2017. That's where we've been at. And yes, winning some of the biggest trophies have obviously papered over the cracks, but we have been a top 4 side since 2017. We're not challenging for any leagues. We haven't done. We've been a cup team. We've been a cup side and a side that just about scrapes 4th or sometimes 3rd, for the last 4 or 5 years. That is what we've been. And it should have been called out under Roman, but it wasn't, because no one was prepared to say anything bad. But since 2017, we've been on a downward slope, and the trophies have just covered over that. We absolutely wouldn't. And there's no divine right to expect, just because you spent money, you should therefore be finishing in set position. Everyone spends money now. Spending money is not enough in the Premier League in this day and age. You have to have a culture, a DNA, an identity. All things right now that Chelsea don't have, or they're trying to reinvent and find a new one. A club of this size with the amount spent should be top 4. No, look, baseline levels agreed, but there's no divine right. The Premier League's very competitive now. And, there's no right. There's no right at all that, we should just expect to be top 4. The reality is we're nowhere near good enough to be top 4. This squad, for me, at best, is a top 6 squad at the moment. And if we were to finish 6th or 7th this season, that would represent, an improvement and somewhere where, this team deserves to finish. And that's the reality. It hurts to say that, but that's the reality, guys. By the way, people, keep smashing the likes. 8 more likes to go to hit 50. So smash those likes, run it up. Let's hit the 50 likes minimum, guys. It's free, it takes seconds, and it's the quickest and easiest way to support the channel. So please do keep smashing that like button, guys. Let's run them up. 8 more likes to hit 50. Come on, guys. There's 46 in the building. No excuses not to be hitting 50 likes. Let's get it moving. We lost to Leeds and Southampton. Everything could lose. Brother, this recency bias and reinventing of the wheel has got to stop. We were shit under Tuchel in the season before he left. Even the previous season, we won the Champions League. Fantastic. The only reason we finished in the top 4 was because we had to get a fucking favour from Spurs to beat Leicester on the last day of the season. Otherwise, we would have been 5th. So let's not pretend that, we lost to Leeds and Southampton. Anybody can lose those type of games. Yes, but not in the manner that we did and not in the way that we were playing. What else have we got going on here? Yeah, 10K is the target for the end of the season, but 8K is 8K is the next target, guys. So if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Make sure you do. Make sure you do, guys. 8,000 subscribers. If we hit 8,000 subscribers by the end of this month, then there will be a giveaway. So please do subscribe. Please do, spread the word. Get your friends, get your family to subscribe, whatever it might be. Please do spread the word, guys, because it will be greatly, greatly appreciated. It would be greatly appreciated. So please do that. But run the likes up. 7 more likes. 50 in the building still. Give me Fit, Chile, James, and Gusto bombing forward. Yeah, I think that'll make a big difference. Not Poch out yet, but at least get off his ass last night. And look, I think last night he was poor for sure. Players were poor as well. And look, if Cole Palmer, puts those chances away like he should have done, then we're not really having this conversation. So, look, football's fine margins. It's fine margins. It is. But, yeah, the performance was fucking awful. And his comments afterwards were poor, saying he thought we were good. I'm sorry, brother. We were shit. What were you watching? Like, surely you can't think that's good. I mean, maybe you're saying something different behind closed doors, but that was not good. What was good about that? Nothing was good about it. Nothing. So why are you coming out saying it was good? It was fucking shit. Chelsea have been interested. No, bollocks. That's not going to happen. No chance. Losing last night was a new low. It was a semi against Championship team. Yep. We got one more leg, though, so it's all is not lost. But yeah, it was poor. Can we talk about our utter lack of ability to break down the low block? Yep. And do you know what? What I would say, and what is fair to say as well, is that I agree with this. When people say there's not really been much improvement, I think there's been improvement in certain aspects of the team. The attack scoring more goals. It certainly got more clinical. There's improvements there. But what I would say is, and this is a problem, 6 months on from when he took over, we struggled, guys, to break teams down who defended on the edge of their own box in August at the start of the season. We looked vulnerable against teams that sat back and then counter at speed then as well. And yet now we're in January, and both those things are still true. There is a clear blueprint to beat Chelsea, and it's not changed all season. And that, guys, is damning. The blueprint to beat us is so easy. It's so easy. Defend at the edge of your own box, counter at speed against us, take an opportunity, and that's how you beat us. How from August to January has there been no difference in that? The blueprint to beat us is exactly the same as it was at the start of the season, and is exactly the same now in January. How is that possible? How is that even a thing to be happening, guys? How is that a thing to be happening that the same way to beat us back in August is still the fucking case in January? It literally makes zero sense whatsoever. Makes no sense at all. You know, I just can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around it. Why that's still the case. But look, mistakes have been made, absolutely. And look, the owners, these guys thinking that you can win stuff, you know, you can get a fucking 100 points with this team like this in the Premier League. Are they mad? Are they absolutely mad? Like, it's not. They've chosen to go down this route. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, if this is what you want to do, and this is the route that you want to go down, then you've got to own that. And you've got to accept that there's going to be bumps in the road, and this is on you. And this is on you. You know, and yes, you know, it's on a manager as well. And yes, it's on a sporting directors. But fundamentally, the biggest issue for us is the way that the squad's been put together. That is fundamentally why we are fucked, because the squad has been put together so poorly. So poorly the squad's been put together. I mean, these sporting directors look like they've never put a squad together in their life. And you can absolutely tell things aren't changing, and things need to change, but they're not. They're just not changing at the moment. And I don't know where we go from here. I just don't know where we go from here. I just don't know what's going on. You just feel like things aren't improving, and every time something does improve, it's then a step back. It's it's crazy. It really is. I haven't got the answers. But I just don't know. I mean, people just aren't grasping it. The squad is so young, and you know, and that means that we don't need a tactician. You know, if Poch was to be binned off, we should be looking to bring in another manager who prioritizes individuals over a system for a year or two. That is what we should be doing. But you know, we're still not. We should be able to get more out of it. But people are fundamentally misunderstanding that the squad is so young. You know, we need someone that is going to prioritize individuals over a system. And you know, we're kind of stuck. We're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place on this one. You know, we really are, guys. We really fucking are. But there's no denying it. You know, we are struggling. We are struggling to break teams down. That was the case in August, and it's still the case in January. That for me is a big concern. That there's no getting away from that. There's no getting away from that at all. There simply isn't. There simply isn't. So we need to find a way to adapt. We need to find a way to adapt. I don't know what the solution is. We just got to keep going. We just have to keep going. That is all. That's all we can do. We just have to keep going. No, Tuchel wasn't sacked for results. He was sacked because of disagreements with the way that they wanted to run the club, and that's fine. If the owners have got a different vision and the manager doesn't align with that vision, then cool, parting of ways, no problem. You've got to have the manager and the owner pulling in the same direction with the way that that they want the club to go. You absolutely have to have that. Owners are a joke. They will neither win trophies or make money at this rate. Well, the quickest way to make money is by winning trophies. So they need to do that. Sporting directors who never purchased players of more than 20 million started splashing on average players and appointed Poch. The directors have got a lot to answer for. I 100% agree on that. We need a style the players can identify. Seems Poch sends them out of known. Last night was a prime example of that, right? These lot looked like they just fucking met up 10 minutes before in the car park. Like when you play pub football or you play your six-a-side. It's like, shit, anyone got any spare players we can borrow for tonight, lads? Yeah, I have these lads. So they've literally met each other before kickoff. It was just fucking strangers. Just strangers out on the pitch. No, there's no connection whatsoever. No connection. That's why we went for Potter before him, and Frank was chomping at the bit to manage Chelsea. Frank was never going to say no. If we win the second leg in the next two league matches, look, obviously, if you're Poch out, stick with your stance. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I don't think it's the right thing to do, guys. 4 likes away from 50. Keep smashing the like button. There's 52 in the building. We should be easily getting to 50 likes minimum, guys. There's no reason why this shouldn't still be. This should not have hit 50 likes. It needs to be hitting 50 likes right now. Right now, guys. Simply no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. Run it up. Run it up. We need 4 more likes, and there's 50 in the building. 3 more now. Let's get to it, people. Let's get to it. Next summer, if we sell Sterling, who would you bring in as an upgrade better than him? Anyone. But Michael Olise would be my choice, for sure. I've kind of forgotten what I was saying then. Was it something in here? Oh yeah. Look, if you got your stance, stick with your stance. The club gets rough patches now and then. That's how it is. We shouldn't be scapegoating anyone. Yeah, I agree with you. But ultimately, people love to have someone to blame. People love to have someone to blame. People like to have someone to blame, and ultimately, that's kind of where we're in now. It has to be someone's fault. It has to be all someone's fault, and that sort of seems to make people feel better if they can just put all the blame on someone. Unfortunately, there's just a severe lack of intelligence at this point in time. A severe lack of intelligence in regards to people just engaging their brains. Like, this just doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. I don't want to sit here like I'm on some sort of moral high horse and calling people stupid for their opinions, but engage your brain and just think about it. Like, actually think what you're saying and think, is this actually really going to make a difference? And if you have reasons and put arguments forward, fine. But don't just sit there and go Poch out. And then when you get asked, who do you think is a realistic alternative? Who would you like to see? And go, it's not my job to find them. Your argument's falling apart straight away. If you can't back your argument up, it's a tin pot argument. You have to be able to back your argument up. And people are not doing that. People simply aren't doing that. Bro, the missed chances are crazy. The missed chances are crazy. Look, the finishing's improved this season. We've scored more goals. The attack has definitely got better. There's no denying that. But ultimately, we are we are where we are because we're not. We still lack a killer in the box, and we're basically not good enough. No, it's as simple as that. But I do fully believe if we had someone that was clinical in the box, then we would probably be 6th or 7th in the table, which is where this squad is kind of at right now. That is where we should be, and we're not a million miles from that. We really aren't. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a mad one, isn't it? Fair point. Can't expect. No, I hear you. I hear you. We need experience, but don't think we are linked with any. Yeah, look, I said it. I said at the start of the window, I'll be here every single day at the window. For January, like I was in the summer. Bro, there's nothing. This window is dead for us at the moment. All that's happened is Ian Martin's gone on loan, and that's it. Nothing else has happened in this window. We haven't really had any. We've not had any concrete links to anyone. Martin's left on loan. That's it. Other than that, there's been absolutely nothing in terms of any links for any players, which is kind of mad. We need experience, but don't think we are linked with any. Looks like a quiet window. Agreed. Karma. Poch is stubborn. Let's be honest. It's going to get worse from here. Don't give him more money. Only thing I would say, go all in for Osimhen. Osimhen's not going to happen in January. I'd love to be wrong, guys. I don't see a big striker coming in January. That's my personal opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fine. I'm happy to be wrong on it. I personally don't. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. And this window's dead. I know we're only 10 days in, but fuck me, it's been 10 shit days. There's literally been nothing happening. We've been linked to a few players. Other than that, nothing's been going on. It's a structural problem at Chelsea from top to bottom, but people prefer blaming one. Yeah, people always like to have a scapegoat. That's the day and age that we're in right now, unfortunately, brother. Scapegoats. People love to have a scapegoat. It always has to be someone's fault. Always has to be someone's fault. And it's such a simplistic view that sometimes it is, but more often than not, it's far deeper than that, and it's far more multifaceted. The issues at the football club, and that is exactly the case with us right now. The issues at this football club are multifaceted. They're deep. They are. So yeah, what else have we got going on here? If no European football next year, do we get elite striker in the summer? No, I don't think so, because all the top players want to play in the best competition. So I don't think we do. Guys, 51 likes. Let's get this to 60. There's 57 in the building. What are you lot playing at? Come on, people. Run it up. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's get this done. Come on, guys. Let's get this done. Run it up to 60 likes, guys. It's free. We're all interacting. It's all good fun. I'm not asking for any money or anything. All I'm asking for is for you to smash that like button. So if you're tuned in now and you've not smashed the like button, let's run it up. 7 more likes to 60 likes. Let's do it, people. Let's get it done. So yeah, Carney and Chile back soon. Yep. For me, the biggest signing we can make is an elite sporting director. That's why I'm so desperate for us to try and get Michael Edwards. We need an elite level sporting director. That for me will make a big difference as well. I'm Poching because nothing will change as I'll just hire another yes man. And this is another thing, right? If you're Poch out, fine, and if the manager goes, whatever. But can you seriously sit there and say that you've got trust and faith in these guys to actually appoint the right person? I don't trust these guys to do anything. I don't trust them to bring the right players in. I certainly don't trust them to appoint the right manager. How can we trust them to do anything? So why, when you say, you're calling calling for the manager to go, do you actually have any faith in these guys that they're actually going to be able to bring the right person in? They're fucking not. They simply aren't. That is the reality of the situation. They are not going to be able to do that. So fuck knows. So it's all over the place. It's an absolute joke. We can't trust them to bring the right people in. it's like how do we expect to move forward when there's no trust in the sporting directors, there's no faith in them because of what they've done so far, and they've made a mess of managerial appointments. So how can you Poch-outers have any sort of faith that these guys would actually appoint someone respectable for the job? They wouldn't. Yes, brother. Smash the likes, lads. Joe, gives us all a platform to chat and let off some steam about our club. Nah, brother, appreciate it. This is nothing without you guys. So yeah, it really isn't. It does mean a lot to me. I mean, I don't know any of you personally. I might know a few. I might have met a couple of you, but it feels like we know each other even though we've never met before. So yeah, no, I like the community that's being built here. It's great, but of course, there's always room to expand. But yeah, it's a big up to everyone, guys. As I said, keep smashing those likes. It's great that people can have their say as well as mine. It's always good to bounce off each other, have different opinions, all that sort of thing. What else have we got going on here? My issue with Poch's lineup. I agree. There's too many changes. I agree with that. But ultimately, as well, we've had to change the lineup because we've had so many fucking injuries. Like, has it even been possible? Is it even possible for us to have? Is it even possible for us to have a similar lineup or the same lineup for consecutive games? I think you should pick a back line, stick with it. Pick a midfield, stick with it. Pick a front line, stick with it. With what we've got. For me, it should be Mudryk, Madueke, and Palmer behind Broja for now. I know I shouldn't be saying that because I don't rate Broja, but it's the only centre forward we've got at this point of time. Yeah, bro, I hear it. I hear it. It's very hard to be positive and see the direction that the club's going in right now. I absolutely hear you on that. I absolutely hear you on that. Like as a more positive fan, it's hard to see where we go. I don't know where we're going, and that's the reality. And I don't think any of us know where we're going. And that in itself is a major issue. No one really knows where we're going. That's the reality. And we all know where we want to go, but we've got to hope. We've got to hope that this works out because we're too far down the road now to turn back. Too far down the road to turn back. So we gotta hope. We gotta hope this works out. We have to hope that this works out. Simple as that. That's all we can do. Yeah. If we continue to sign potential young players this window, I'm convinced the direction is making. Yeah, brother, and I wouldn't be able to disagree with you. But I still want Poch to go. Like I say, he hasn't done anything whatsoever. Fair. If this was City yesterday, Cole would have got. Yeah, Cole was getting cooked, and teams are targeting him, and that is a massive problem for us. A massive problem for us. More chance of Arnie appearing on EastEnders. Yeah, I mean, would be a great episode, that wouldn't it? Big up to Dear Still with another super chat donation. Greatly appreciated, bro. We actually miss Cucurella. Unbelievable. Yeah, we do. I mean, look, he might not be the best going forward, but defensively, he's solid at left back, and he's a lot better option than Colwell. So, yeah, we're missing a lot of our players. It's funny that when you've got first team players out that you miss them. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It is absolutely an interesting one. But Cucurella was playing really well. So, yeah. I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. I really don't get it. It's all over the place. So yeah, fucking hell. We do miss him. We do. And he was in decent form. But I think people just got to be careful what they wish for. As I said, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Once that dopamine hit of a new manager rubs off and you realize the same fundamental issues are still there, then don't come back and be like, oh, we need to get another manager. If you're not addressing the source of the issue, then the issue is still going to be there. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's like you've got a leak in your house or whatever, and you're not addressing the leak. You're like trying to address something else around it, which is not solving the problem, but you think it's solving the problem, until we address sporting, the hierarchy above the manager, and until we address the build up of the squad, it doesn't matter who the manager is. It doesn't matter who the manager is. The same problems are going to be there. There are fundamental structural and cultural issues at Chelsea right now, and whoever the manager is not going to make any difference to that. That is the reality, in my opinion. What do I feel the root issue is? Broya, sorry, I'll get to that in a sec. Is Broya able to play 2 games in 3 days? No, he's not. Poch was saying that after the game. He's not able to do that. Just started watching, and of course, Boehly going to back Poch, and his job not in danger. For me, the fundamental, the root cause of the issues at the moment, the root causation, too many changes too quickly from this ownership, and the way that the squad's been put together. Those, for me, are the 2 biggest issues at the football club. I'm not saying the manager's not one of the issues or part of an issue. He is. But for me, the 2 biggest issues are too many changes too quickly from top to bottom of the football club, and the way that the playing squad's been put together. Those, for me, are the 2 biggest problems. No, that was that's that. I think that was one report in a Daily Express or something. But yeah, there's nothing in that. There's nothing in that at all. And he's obviously injured anyway until after the transfer window's closed. So that's not going to happen. It's actually kind of relaxing when we aren't signing 14 kids per hour. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's nice. It does feel weird that we're 10 days into a transfer window and nothing's happened. Normally, if you're 10 days into a window, Chelsea normally at least signed, one person by now. But that doesn't appear to be the case. Doesn't appear to be the case at this point in time. Transfer window is dead. Guys, what's also dead is we've not hit 60 likes. There's two more required. 2 more likes required to hit 60. Come on, people. Let's get this done. It's free and it takes seconds to do. That's all you need to do is hit that thumbs up button, and it helps more than you could ever imagine. So please do that. Let's get it to 60. There's no reason why we can't hit 70 likes, people. No reasons why we can't do that. But let's get 60 first. Let's move away from that and have a slight discussion on the transfer window. And I think someone mentioned about Victor Osimhen. Where is it? Fabrizio Romano via YouTube. Nothing will change in January for Victor Osimhen. It's a deal for the summer. So according to Fabrizio, Osimhen is a deal for the summer. And I think that much is clear. I mean, obviously, I don't know what's going on at Napoli with Osimhen. I think he obviously will leave in the summer. They're 9th in Serie A at the moment. He's come out and blasted Kvaratskhelia agent for him saying that he's going to end up in Saudi in the summer. There's all sorts going on at Napoli at the moment. But Fabrizio Romano saying that, nothing will change in January for Osimhen. It's a deal for the summer. Does that mean a pre-agreement can't be agreed? I don't know. But if I'm Victor Osimhen, I'm waiting to the summer and I'm assessing my options and seeing what clubs I've got available for me. But yeah, it does look like that Osimhen is not going to be moving anywhere in January. Obviously, you never say never in football and things can change. But as of right now, it seems like Osimhen will be staying put, for at least for January. That much would appear. That much would appear clear. But yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting. No, let's not do this again. Felix is not it. Never was it. Never has been it. That for me is a simple answer. I'd much rather have Nkunku, much rather have Cole Palmer. So no, I absolutely disagree on that front. Overhaul change in 18 months was madness, and we assembled an unbalanced squad. We need to pause and pivot. Yeah, no, we do need to pause and pivot, but unfortunately, bro, I don't think these guys are prepared to pause and pivot. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but like it feels like we're too far down the road to turn back now. But we can pivot away from this. You don't have to pivot away from the whole thing, but for me, our recruitment in the next 2 windows is going to tell us a lot about where these directors see this project going and how much they value the manager's input. Everyone knows we need more experienced players. The managers said it. If they don't address it in the next 2 windows, you know what their priorities are. And listening to the manager is not that. And it would obviously prove that whoever the manager is in this project, this process, it doesn't matter, because all that's going to happen is the sporting directors are going to, have their say and have their and you just have to follow their lead. That is what will happen here, and it'll just prove that the manager in the long term in this project doesn't actually matter and doesn't make any difference. That for me is kind of where we're looking at right now. The ability of the players is better than we had last year. Of course, we have injuries like last season, but the difference is we have capable players. I wouldn't look. I think the potential ability of the players is much better, but right now, I think a lot of the players we've got now aren't actually better than the players we had last season. They've got the potential to be a lot better, absolutely. But in terms of the players we've got now, are they actually right now? Are they any better than what we had last season? You'd have to say no. In the majority of cases, which again is another big reason why we're struggling. Yes, it's got the potential to be much better, but right now at this point in time, it's not better than what we had last season. Why would Osimhen want to come to us? I agree. I've done that. We need to get European football. We do need some European football. Let's not be so. We just need a left back. Look, we get a left back. Look, fit fullbacks, as I said at the start, was going to be a it's going to make a big difference. Absolutely going to make a big difference. We will need at least accomplish something this season. I don't think Osimhen will join us anyway. But yeah, look, if we can win something, if we can get some form of European football to cling on to, then yeah, that would certainly make a big difference. When the Carabao Cup got way over some of your heads, we were never going to win it. So stick with what we know already. I think we'll make the final, and then obviously once you get to the final, anything can happen. But yeah, I do agree with you. Even getting to even winning it will be a tough ask if it's against Liverpool. But in a final, anything can happen. Anything can happen in a final. That much is clear. But yeah, this Osimhen stuff, I'll be real. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. That for me right now is the reality. In the reality for me is that that is the reality. I just don't see. I don't see a top class striker coming this window. I think we could get a centre back, maybe a left back or whatever. But I can't see it happening. People, I cannot see it happening. People, we're 7 likes away from 70. Let's run it up again. Keep doing it, guys. We need to hit the next little milestone. 70 likes would be massively, massively appreciated. So let's run it up. Get to at least 70. Keep smashing that like button. 56 likes. 56 in here, sorry. And 63 likes. There's definitely 7 that haven't smashed that like button. So make sure you do. Let's get this to 70 likes. It'll be greatly appreciated, people. We need to put a good attitude up there with attributes we are seeking as much as potential talent in the future. Yeah, attitude needs to be spot on. Look, the togetherness within the squad feels better than it's felt in a long, long time. It's just obviously the team chemistry and the cohesion's not all there yet. That much is clear. I think the gaffer's making fundamental mistakes. I think that's absolutely a fair thing to say. We wouldn't be in this position if all the players were fully fit. Look, I do agree with that to an extent. If we had a fully fit squad to choose from, and that's a big if, and we may never get a fully fit squad, but if we can have close to a fully fit squad to choose from, then I think we are a different proposition. The best ability is availability. That is the biggest thing. I don't care how talented you are, how good a footballer you are. If you can't make yourself available on a regular basis, it's useless having all that talent. It really is. Availability is the best ability. Simple as that. And I do agree. If we had our players available for the majority of the season, then I do think we'd be in 6th or 7th. If we had an Nkunku all season, if we had James and Chilwell fit all season, I think it does make a serious difference. I mean, would be sort of 5th or 6th in the table. What's happened to him? I don't think anything's happened to him. I just think he's being misprofiled. I think he's being misused in this system. I don't think anything's happened to him. I thought he had a good game last night. I'm seeing many of you Chelsea fans with no patience. Will be Yeah, this is the point that I was making earlier on in the stream, is that there seems to be an arrogance and a sense of entitlement that we shouldn't have to go through what every other club has had to go through over the years, and that's a period of being shit. We think we shouldn't have to go through it. You know, that's not how this works, unfortunately. And that's not how it works. It's not, oh, we're Chelsea, you know, we shouldn't have to go through that. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. There'll probably be more transfer activity in the final week, given there's going to be players who will move because, yeah, I agree with that. No, I don't think Palmer's upset the balance at all. Palmer's been crucial to us. I mean, where would we be at? Where would we be, without Cole Palmer? We'd be fucked. Name serious man. No, that's what I was saying earlier. No serious managers come into the club in this state with the squad the way it is. No one. No one's doing that. And people just can't seem to see it. I think we need an experienced midfielder to help our midfield click. I mean, possibly. But again, we've got so many midfield players. Yes, there's no experienced ones in there, but we have got a lot of midfield players. Do we really need to be adding another midfield player? I'm not sure if that's quite the right thing. I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, usually a clown leads a circus. Agreed. To be honest, if we magically make a comeback in the second leg and Fulham somehow get to the final, then we might win the cup. You know, you never know with this club. You never know. Enzo has been carrying an injury. Yeah, he looked more like himself last night. He absolutely did. I don't know why he was subbed. That didn't make sense to me at all. We need a left back. I don't think we do. A left back for the summer, agreed, but for January, I'm not sure. I mean, look, it might be something that gets looked at, but I don't see it being. I absolutely don't see it being a priority. I don't see it being a priority at all. Look, it's impossible to say, but I think you can definitely say that we'd be better than 10th with all the players fit. I think we'd be 6th or 7th. Maybe 5th's a bit of a push, but you're telling me if all our players fit that we wouldn't be where West Ham are now in 6th place? I think we would. I honestly think we would. But look, we're never going to know that. But I think there's definitely a strong case to be made that we could be sixth in the league right now if all our players have been fit for the majority of the season. I think we can say that. Look, that's certainly that will certainly make a massive difference. I agree on that front. It will make a big difference. But yeah, it's not going to be. Chilwell won't be a left winger. Like if Chilwell comes back and he plays left wing and Colwell stays at left back, yeah, I'm out and I'm done. I'm out and I'm done on that one. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? I don't think it is a priority. I don't think the club see it as a priority. Look, if there's a deal to be done for someone, then sure, I'm sure it would get looked at if it's something opportunistic became available. But ultimately, I don't see us bringing a left back in. I think in the summer, absolutely, a left back will be a priority, and it's something that will 100% be looked at 100%. But I just don't think I don't think so this window. I could be wrong, and I get it. It's a position that will need to be looked at some point, but I personally don't see it. I personally don't see it. I mean, is there anything else going on? Is there anything else going on? I don't really think there is. I mean, have you got any other real news to go through? What else is going on? Yeah, I mean, look, it's never easy with Chelsea, guys. It is never easy. As many players away on Asian Cup and African Cup of Nations, so getting anyone in. Yeah, obviously, if you're looking for Asian and African players, then yeah, that's going to be a lot more difficult, 100%. But there's obviously more players out there than just those nationalities. Injuries are a huge problem for us. If you take 10 plus key players from Arsenal away for the whole season, No, I hear you. And look, people don't like to say it because I think it's excuses and it's part and parcel in football, but no one seems to have had it as bad as us with, having 10 plus out every single week. That's hard. And it's even harder with a young team when you're trying to build continuity, consistency, form relationships with players. Like when you're constantly having to play a different team every week, that's peak. That's not gonna make things any easier. It really, really isn't. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 70. Let's get there before I round it out. Run it up, guys. 52 in the building. There's definitely 4 more likes. There's definitely 4 of you in it that haven't smashed that like button. So let's run it up, people. Let's run it up. Yes, brother. Big yourself up. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Catch you again soon, bro. What else have we got popping off? Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This is a Felix exclusive. Let's have a quick look at this. Exclusive, people. Chelsea have inquired to Benfica on Antonio Silva. Chelsea inquired on an asking price and were told they would have to pay his release clause 100 million euros to get Silva in January. Chelsea believed to be willing to pay 60 to 65 million euros. It's not clear yet if they will pursue the deal and no negotiations yet. Chelsea are scouting a number of centre-backs, including Silva, Diamonde at Sporting, Yoro and Todibo. Excuse me. The chosen target will depend most on price and availability, but Silva is believed to be the preferred choice generally. Look, I don't know an awful lot about Antonio Silva. I know that he's highly rated. Benfica, Rui Costa settings again. Do we really want to be going down that route? Again, it's another. How old is this geezer? How old is he? Antonio Silva. How old is Antonio Silva? Nah, appreciate it, brother. As always, appreciate it a lot. I'll just say my thoughts and say it how I feel. If people like it, then obviously fantastic, and I greatly appreciate it. There's been hardly anything. Obviously, Martin's gone on loan. There's been obviously Gallagher's looks likely to stay, but in terms of incomings, there's been literally next to zero news. How old is this Antonio Silva, by the way? Let's have a quick look. He's probably likely to be 20 or 21, I'd imagine. Antonio Silva, Portuguese. Yes, 20, of course, 20 years old. No surprises there. No surprises there whatsoever. Let's just have a look now on transfer marks, what he's been doing this season. What's he been doing this season? In the Portuguese league, he's played 15 games and he's scored once. He's played 4 times in the Champions League. He's made 24 appearances in all competitions this season with 1 goal, and he's played just over 2,000 minutes. He's obviously a centre back. He's been part of this Portuguese. He's part of the Portuguese setup. He's played for all the Portuguese age groups. Made his international debut for Portugal in November 2022. Look, I don't know. I don't know. Look, he's obviously good. I think he's pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I've seen this geezer play, because I absolutely haven't. On anywhere near enough of him to sort of quantify an opinion. Yeah, look, this is what I'm saying. Be careful what you wish on people. There's people delighted that Jackson had fucks off to the AFCON. I was like, trust me. You'll wait till he's gone. You'll see what we're missing. Yeah. Look, where's this guy going to play? Like a 20-year-old centre back. Where's this geezer playing? We've already got loads of these. Where are these guys playing? How tall is he? Fuck knows. 1 meter 87, whatever that is. That's tall. That's taller than me. I reckon he's around 6 foot. Nah, Sesko is just a no. It's just a no-go for me. No on Sesko. Is he Silva replacement or Chalobah? I don't know. I don't know how it's being looked at, But I'd imagine you're not going to replace both those centre backs. So I suppose it will be those two out in all likelihood, and maybe Silva to come in. I don't know, but it's interesting. Antonio Silva. No, Jackson gets unjust hate. He's the best we have in that position. He is right now. Yep. I don't know what Colwell's height is, but maybe something similar. But interesting that Chelsea have inquired. Obviously we're looking at a lot of different centre back options. Chelsea have inquired. I mean, look, it doesn't really mean. Does it mean much? I don't really know. It's an interesting one, isn't it? He's a good defender. Look, the release clause is way too much. 100 million euros for him is ridiculous. But I mean, from what people are saying, he certainly seems to be kind of the right profile, of centre half and right profile we should be looking for. But yeah, that money's just silly. It's silly money to be doing. Report coming in as well saying that understand West Ham are big fans of Amanda Broja, and should he become available, will be keen to make a move for the Chelsea striker. Obviously, I don't have a problem with Broja leaving, but obviously we're not going to do that when we've got no other centre forwards in the building. That would be pretty stupid, guys. That would be pretty stupid. No, I don't think so. I don't think he's particularly injury prone. I've got absolutely no idea. I've got no idea at all, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, look, obviously, he's a good footballer, good player. 100 million euros is stupid. Antonio Silva is right footed but can play right or left centre back. Yep, absolutely. Gallagher won't go. After what West Ham did to us for Rice, let's ask them 10 millions more. Yeah, maybe. Do you know what it is, right? Despite the fact that people hated us, like a lot of fans didn't want us 3 at the back, wanted to go to a 4. With the players we've got, the amount of centre backs we've got, playing 3 at the back actually suits us. It suits us. In a weird way, it really does. You could have Silva, Badiashile, Colwell as a back 3, Gusto and Chile as fullbacks, or James and Chile as wingbacks. You have Enzo and Caicedo in the middle, or Enzo and Lavia, or Enzo and Gallagher, or whatever combination of those 4 you want. And the only problem playing a back 3 gives you, if you go 3-4-3, is it means that either Nkunku has to play on the wing or as a centre forward. And then do you go what? Palmer on one side, Mudryk on the other side, and then you go Nkunku up top. That's the only problem with it, is it slightly messes with the front line, because you don't really want Nkunku playing on the wing, and a 3-4-3 takes away a 10. But it does seem to be set up. Is this Poch? Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, look, for Fafana to come back into the mix as well. There are so many different options here, people. So many different options. No, look, I'm not saying we should do it. All I'm saying is, like, it's funny how actually the players you've got in the squad probably does suit a back 3. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should do it, by the way. I disagree on that. All this playing Cole at left back is making people forget how good a centre back he is. He's very talented and will most likely become one of the best centre backs in the league at some point. He's been poor, yes, but I don't think the level of criticism is justified for a 20-year-old who's being played out of position. I just don't think that. No, fair enough. Look, to be fair, he did go well early on that. But no, he has got quite a lot of other stuff right. So yeah, I don't really disagree. Cole is going to be mainstay for 7 to 8 years. You would think so. See, Richard Romano will not leave in January, but could leave in the summer. So yeah, I've seen that. We've been through that. No, I don't think so. I just think it means that with Chalobah going to go and Silva most likely to leave at the end of the season, it means that we need to bring one more in. Or that's certainly how the club are seeing it. I don't really know. So yeah, I mean, let's wait and see, guys. We're 7 likes away from 80. Let's see if we can get there. What else have we got popping off? Is there anything else coming that might be worth covering? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. No, I don't think there really is, people. I don't think there's too much more. Yeah, no one else has really done any business. I mean, Spurs got a couple in, Dragosine from Genoa, and obviously Timo Werner on loan. But yeah, there's been no real activity from 10 days into the window from a lot of Premier League clubs. There really hasn't. There really hasn't been at all. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see and hope things heat up a little bit. But yeah, all the reports are suggesting that January is going to be quite quiet for Chelsea. Doesn't mean no activity. It just means that it's going to be a lot quieter than previous windows have been. And I don't really suspect that much is really going to happen. You know, that's my opinion on it. You know, that's my opinion on it. We will have to wait and see. I don't know what the answers are. Yeah, look, I don't really care how he does. It makes no difference to me. Makes no difference to me at all. But yeah, people, I'm going to round this one out here, guys. It was 4 likes away from 80. Try and smash those up on the way out, guys. It would be greatly appreciated. Run it up. Big up to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Love for all the support. Thanks for all the super chats that have been sent in. It's greatly appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evening, people. I will be back definitely either tomorrow or Friday with a Fulham preview. If there's any news tomorrow worth covering, I will be back. So I'll catch you guys either tomorrow or Friday. But enjoy the rest of your evening. Run the likes up on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks for all the support as always. Love, and I am out of here.